So I normally don't do political videos, but as we know, it's kind of hard not to notice what's going on politically in our world. And a lot of it has to do with this go green push because there's a lot of money to be made by forcing us all into this agenda. And California is definitely in the lead on this one, especially with our corrupt, for lack of a better word, more like evil and ungodly and wicked rulers here who have a lot of money, I guess, to be made in this agenda. Um, Let me just start. With electric cars, they can be hacked so easily that if they want your battery to catch fire, it's going to catch fire. If they want you to drive off a cliff at 100 miles an hour on a turn, it's going to happen. You know what I mean? Like, they could literally hack your car. It's not the same as the computer in a regular car. It's a whole different world. So there's a lot of risk and evil involved in the agenda in the first place. If they want to lock you out of your car and cause you trouble, because you are considered unruly to them, or maybe you are a child of God and God is calling you out of the delusions that the church is still in, and they want to start harassing you, then they can do it. They're going to start causing a lot of problem for the world. But one thing I'm noticing, driving for Uber, is that they definitely have an agenda to push all of the gas drivers out. And they've made it clear that they intend to get rid of all gas cars by the end of or by 2025, which in itself is discrimination. It's discrimination against anybody who wants to ride for rideshare and have this kind of work, that they can't do it unless they bow down to this agenda. So there's already a discrimination, but now they're trying to force the gas driving vehicles out. And I know this because every time I go rent another vehicle, they're always trying to push me into an electric. And for whatever reasons I have, political, or I just don't trust the cars to begin with. And I definitely don't trust that once they get us all into what they want, that those, the same way our gas prices and taxes keep going out because they're trying to force us out of these cars, the electricity rates are going to go up the same. They're going to do it. They're going to do it. There is whatever you're paying right now to fill up your electric car is not going to be the same in a few years once they get their agenda rolling. I guarantee it, once they have the majority of us out of gas cars. Now, when you're driving for Uber, you have different types of vehicles that you can order, and some of them cost a little more because they're actually offering another service. They're adding services on to just a standard ride. So you have your Uber X, which is a standard ride. You have your Comfort Ride, which is a newer vehicle. They're often a little bit bigger, so a little more leg room, so to speak. And then you have the option to have the temperature control at your liking, and whether or not you want a quiet ride or whether you want to chat, all these things you can make requests, and it's part of the extra fee because you're getting an extra service. Just like with the black car service, you're paying extra for that. With your extra large cars, you're paying extra for that. But what they're doing now to force drivers out of income, and I've noticed my income is cut in half, if not more. When I used to be able to make $300 in a day, which is not great. It's not as great as it sounds after you pay for all your gas, the long hours you work, and taxes and everything else that you have to pay, all of your stuff that you have to pay out of pocket because we're footing the bill for all of this. They're not paying for this. They're offering these bogus bonuses and stuff that most of the drivers cannot meet. Your driver makes about $4.10 to $6 something per hour. And there was literally studies done on it by outside companies who literally did the numbers and they crunched it. So all of these extra bonuses they're offering are things that most of us don't need or want. And they're trying to say, oh, well, our expenses have to go up because we're offering them more. We didn't ask for any of this. You were supposed to just be a app that we could get together on and pair people with rides. But they're using all of this other stuff as an excuse to keep taking more and more and more from the driver. And most of us don't even benefit from what they offer. I don't benefit from what they offer at all. So all I want is fair pay. That's it. So now what they're doing, I just found out I had a passenger revealed to me that, hey, maybe and I have a feeling there's a reason why this passenger piped up, and I believe it's God's work. What is this green ride you can take? Well, let me start by saying when you rent a vehicle through Hertz or anybody else with this program, you pay extra. You pay more per week to have a vehicle that will give you comfort rides, because the comfort rides pay more, plus these tend to be a little more gas guzzling. What they've done with this now to force these gas cars out and force us out of work because we choose and want to use a gas car and not an electric car, what they've done is start offering all of these comfort rides for the most part to the electric vehicle people. So they get first dibs on everything, to where we're getting the bottom of the barrel last minute stuff that nobody wants, or if there just is no other driver around and the passenger is forced to pick that. Now I find out that with this new green stuff that they're offering it at a much lower rate for like your standard Uber X or whatever, to where they're enticing people through this bribe to not use our cars as gas drivers. This is discrimination. When you're offering the same service, this is the same standard Uber X ride, they're not getting anything extra, and then you offer them less so that it takes money out of my income and it takes work out of my hands so that everybody rushes to them and cuts us out of the deal and out of the equation. This is discrimination. This is literally discrimination. And then, how do I want to put this? You, as a person who orders a ride, you have the option to be offered an Uber X regular gas car and an Uber X regular green. That's your prerogative if you prefer, because you support the Going Green agenda, but they should be the same price, period. The same price, period. There's no reason why they should be given all of these people are getting all of the work because they're enticing the people to pick their cars and not ours. Do you see what I'm saying? This is discrimination. This is literally discrimination. So I just have to make this known that this is the agenda. This is what's happening. This is not fair. California is not yet all electric. If it does happen, it happens, and we'll have to fight that battle down the road if it does. But the reality is this is not law yet, and they are already forcing us out of work. They're already forcing us to lose mass amounts of income where I could make $300 in a day before, every day, guaranteed, lots of comfort rides because I'm paying more for it. Now I'm lucky if I get a couple comfort rides, even in an entire week. Sometimes they don't give it to me. Last week, I didn't get any comfort rides, nor did I get the pre-scheduled rides. They harass us and they withhold stuff from us. And don't get me started on the stuff that they're doing to our cars to make it so that we get so frustrated with constantly having, because they sabotage us. If you think I'm kidding, I'm not kidding. They do sabotage us. So they're doing all of this stuff to force us out of work. Now, if we quit, then they can say, oh, they quit on their own. You know, we didn't fire them, kind of thing. It's all deception. It's all devious. They are literally, when I could make $300 in a day before, I'm now lucky if I can't even hit $100 sometimes. And if I'm lucky, I might hit $150. But this is still half to more than half of the income I used to make ever since they started introducing these green cars and these electric cars. So there is an agenda. This is discrimination. And I have to say it, you know, may God raise up an army. May he bring us laborers in the mighty name of Jesus to harvest this field, because this is corruption. This is evil. This is wicked. This is oppression. This is captivity. This is everything that keeps people a slave to their evil works, their evil agendas. So I pray that the Father bind up their evil works. I pray that he put chains on these people, that they walk behind me in the mighty name of Jesus, that they learn the fear of God in the hopes that they will turn from these evil works and agendas and know God and worship him as I do. And, there's no other way. There's no other way. May God send laborers into this field to fight this battle, to help release the people from captivity and oppression in the mighty name of Jesus Christ. If you are one of them, may God give you strength. May he empower you. May he give you the resources you need, because we are being kept in poverty to where we don't have the resources, and they know it. They know it. And then don't get me started on their arbitration stuff, where they make it so that even if we want to opt out, they make it impossible. Oh, you have to mail it in. You have to do this. Well, now we got to get it certified letters, and we got to do all this and hope that they get it and don't deny it. I've done an opt-out before, and later on I got a message saying, oh, you don't qualify for this lawsuit because you didn't qualify for the opt-out. Basically, I'm still under arbitration. Well, what they do is they do updates on the app, and in those updates, they sneak another arbitration clause that you have to agree to. And if you don't agree to it, then again, you have to mail it in, you have to do all this. So they make you jump through hoops like all the time, nonstop. They're doing an update, here comes another arbitration, to where you are doing this all the time, to where your first arbitration, it no longer is relevant anymore, because then they make it so that you have to do it again. And then they make it so that until people eventually just give up, because they are constantly having to fight the same battle over and over, because there's nobody defending us. May God raise people to defend us. May he bind up and burn this evil work in the mighty name of Jesus Christ.